Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in at 15-0, 1 win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
They go play action here on first down. And incomplete to open things up. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Tannehill. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the headline. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And they're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now, 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he's got some space here. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue line it!
They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. He's going to air one out. And this is caught. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. In for the score. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Tannehill with a hook up to Parker for the Dolphin first. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And these guys locked into that number 1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So that doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
Rudolph, and he rifles one incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. He gets it to Brown, complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go now.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
This is caught, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people that power his way forward.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now 14-0. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns, not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, it's Drake, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Tannehill now to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around. Not having that success, might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
To throw is Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run there.
Man open left side is Brown. Yards there and also a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Rudolph throwing on second down. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On first down, it's Rudolph. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
I think someone's going to get in the QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. A nice display of powerful running, but it takes him only to the 7. He's dropped there. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. The give is to Bell, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell in the final seconds of the first half, and the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Boswell for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Joe Flacco with 2 touchdown passes there. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. D.D. Westbrook, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. The Bears trying to pick up the late season W, something they've only done twice to this point all year. In the game you're watching, it was Mason Rudolph with a strong first half throwing the football. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaudin.
Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And you can see it's no race for the top spot. That's been decided. These guys will hope to get through Week 17 in one piece before they host a division round game in 2 weeks' time.
And I think that what they'll do is they'll be very selective about who plays in this game. All right? There's certain guys that maybe are starters, but maybe haven't played as much as other guys during the year. Maybe they still need their timing back. Other guys you're going to put in bubble wrap and put them on the sidelines and tell them we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Here we go now.
On second down, here's Rudolph. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Rudolph off play action. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up into half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Tannehill on 3rd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ryan Shazier in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll go again with Bell. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it with Bell. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. They find some open field here.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think head, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now Bell, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Let's go. Blue line it.
Here's Rudolph now on 2nd down. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his third touchdown of the game and fourth on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it is 28-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. He goes underneath the Drake, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And the third down pass falls incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
With it is Brown. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now, 1st and 10. They start with a give to Connor. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation.
Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. A give to Bell. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down. All right, here we go. Green!
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Play action. It's Rudolph. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Here's Bell. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Tackle made by Brian Orakpo.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Steelers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Again, it's Bell. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
This is Bell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside.
Here we go now.
They run with counter. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here we go now.
Here's Rudolph. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. On 3rd down, it's Connor, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
And Mike Tomlin going to roll up the sleeves here and say, let's go for it on 4th. Again, it's counter. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Able to convert on 4th to bring up 1st and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there.
And on 4th and 1 as a running back, you're looking for any seam you can find. This is not where you want to be a hero and break off a big one. You just need to make sure you get that yard. And here he picks up the first down with a couple of yards to spare.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total.
Here we go now.
Rudolph going to look to throw it, and incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Rudolph now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rule. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Now it's Tannehill. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver there, Kenyon Drake. And that takes us from second to third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Parker unable to get that one.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here we go.
Here's Connor. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Hurry up, here we go.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On third down, that's Connor. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
They go play action here on first down. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
That is right. All right, here we go.
They will throw it here with Rudolph. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point now by Boswell. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. The scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for Pittsburgh, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Miami, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.